everybody, welcome back. This is the Bare Knuckles edition, part dos. Okay, that's 2. Okay. And Nick Portella, Josh Furs, Combat Insiders. Check us out, combatinsidersmedia.com. Like us on the Facebook, follow us on the Twitter. Please, 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 please subscribe to us on the YouTube. Wherever you're watching this, please hit the little red subscribe button. Then hit the little bell icon. It gets notifications every time we upload videos. And we're trying to, like I said, we just keep it's like a freaking conveyor belt of videos, okay? We're trying to keep this stuff rolling. Please just, it lets us know how we're doing, okay? And don't forget to check out our sponsor, Jab Apparel, jabapparel.com. As always, he's got great stuff for the sports and non-sports enthusiasts. Real comfortable. It looks great. It feels great. And it's the best part is it doesn't cost an arm and a leg. It's real affordable. So check those guys out over at Jab Apparel. Buddies over there. We're going to be, tell everybody who we're going to be talking to today, Nick.
We got Marcel Stamps, who scored the big-time TKO upset over Kendall Grove, and Britain Hart, for those who don't remember, the one that battled Beck Rawlings to a split decision. They're both coming on to talk about, what's coming up next, what they're thinking about moving forward. Yep. Just a lot of information. They're both a lot of fun, very fan-friendly, so I'm really excited to see what they have to say.
All right, looking forward to it. Let's go ahead and swing on over to Marcel Stamps. He's waiting for us on Skype. We got Marcel Stamps here live via Skype, and always Nick Portella. And by the way, the 100 followers celebration is going to be, he's still going to take you out via candlelit dinner. So that's a special contest we got going on with Nick Portella over here. So Marcel Stamps, make sure to tell everybody to get 100 followers, because this other guy over here has vowed to take people out to dinner. So it's a little contest we're having for the fans. You know what I mean? So,
I can't.
But all kidding aside, man, this guy right here, Marcel Stamps, he doesn't play games. He definitely doesn't play games in the ring, man. I guess you're not too far from a crazy win we had. I mean, what's going on with you, man? What's been going on lately? Anything coming up for you?
Right now, just doing a lot of training, still trying to stay in shape, looking for anything that comes up.
Yeah.
We were looking at kind of a Bellator thing. Was trying to get the end of this month. What was the guy's name? Jordan Young, I think that's who he was trying to. He had an opening. I guess I don't know if his opponent fell out, and couldn't find anybody, if they found anybody, but they was trying to throw me in. I had my guys trying to throw me in the pot as being one of those to go out there, just coming off of camp and still in condition and in good shape. I was trying to pick that up. If not, then we're looking at something, man, either December or the 1st of January with Bare Knuckle. I'm just trying to stay busy, man. So it really doesn't matter if it's MMA, if it's kickboxing, if it's Bare Knuckle. I'm doing a lot of training, so I'm just trying to stay active, so that way I don't have to go back and backtrack.
Yeah, I think that's an exciting fight. I actually know Jordan. I think you guys, style-wise, that's got Fight of the Night written all over it. All over it. You're both very exciting. So I hopefully praying that one comes through.
Yeah.
But now let's get on. I know you're a busy guy. I want to talk about your last Bare Knuckle performance. You came in as the underdog against, a UFC vet, Kendall Grove. I feel like you won every round, but in third round, I don't know, man, just walk us through the process, because you put in work on that fight. It was almost a flawless performance. I mean, it was there.
Man, it was it was a pretty good one. The biggest thing, I come out cold. People don't realize that the match before, when we got done, I had just got finished warming up, and then I'm good and hot, excited, ready to go. They started talking to the last guys that was there, so it took about 5 minutes of time, talking to them, both guys, and then we come out, and our come out is another about 5-7 minutes plus our introduction. So I went from being like, warm to back to oh man, I gotta figure out to get myself back, hyped up, get my body, my blood back flowing, because
Right.
between that big gap there, it was a big layoff. So I'm like, I had the first round, I kind of tried to move around, establish myself, and not really throw any naked punches and get in a bad position. And I knew I had pretty good footwork. I knew it was going to be hard for him. If I can keep moving, I can, give me time to warm myself up. I done that. Got caught a couple times in the second round, still trying to get myself going. Finally got myself where I felt like I was in the good enough groove to kind of go, got my sweat going. Come out the third round, and it was all she wrote, man, from there. He had a few good, I think an uppercut, maybe a hook that he had that was pretty good, but it didn't daze me much. Not taking, anything from him, but he don't have, much for rocks in his pocket. He got a, little ass, so he don't really have much going behind it. So I kind of ate those, and I was getting ready for the next one. He kind of upset me when we done our standoff. The punch that I actually end up, knocking him out with was the punch that, like, when we did our standoff, I don't know if a lot of people know, he was, he did the little thing like he was eating my punches, like my uppercut, when I had it up on his chin. So I took that into offense, like, I'm like, oh, so you saying you're gonna eat my punches now? Okay, we'll see. So that's kind of what set up everything, is that and then switch stance. I think a lot of people don't realize that switching stance. Now, if you get good both ways, I think when I come out for the second round, he was pressuring first, and then I went out from the second round. I started out a southpaw, and I think that kind of dazed him for a minute, so he started backing up, just not being familiar with it. And I think that's what set up a lot of the things that I ended up doing with the straight right, and then getting him off balance a little bit.
So the real question is, did the element of it being bare knuckle have any effect, or you're just like, a fight is a fight? And did it bother you being the underdog? Because you came in as the underdog, but, I mean, obviously that doesn't matter.
Yeah, I look at it as a fight. If you can't tell the way I was throwing those punches, I threw it just like I had gloves on. A lot of guys kind of, they pull up on a lot of their punches. I didn't do much pulling up. I try to, make a statement when I'm actually throwing. I don't care, what it is. Being the underdog, it really did, kind of poke me the wrong way. I'm like, man, how am I the underdog? I know he had a lot of fights, but overall, I think, like, athletically, power, like, speed-wise, I thought I was way better. But then I understand people not knowing and not, being able to see a lot from me. My biggest thing is, like, a lot of people haven't got to see me. It wasn't because of me not actually being active fighting. I just had a lot of guys drop out. So, that kind of, put more of a flame up under me, like, to even make a bigger statement that, okay, more people looking at him as it's just going to be a pushover fight for him. He's an underdog, like, everybody looking at him like, hey, he's taller, he's got a longer extension, he got 3-4 more inches on me. Style wise, you look at it, I'm like, man, it is a bad matchup. Like, he can easily keep him on the end of the jab and keep going, but a lot of people don't know how powerful and how quick I am. So until you actually get in the ring with me and then feel that momentum is one of those things that you're like, dang, now I get there, it's too late, I can't, like, change anything. How can you adjust to somebody like me? It's kind of hard, especially with stand-up. Like, stand-up is a lot easier when you got the other elements. But stand-up, that's right in my alley. I love that, movement, trying to find and get him off balance. It is my thing. I didn't think that he had good footwork, so I knew I would kind of get him in, eventually later on I'll catch him.
What do you think, Josh? They know who he is now, I bet, huh?
I'm telling you. Hey, Marcel, I'm curious to get your thoughts. We've heard Chael Sonnen talks about it a lot on this podcast, that you have a lot of fighters nowadays who are always looking for a particular fight, and it's got to be a particular style for a certain amount of money, for a certain amount of this, and there's always got to be all this criteria. And what he says is, like, what MMA, and not just MMA, but combat sports as a whole, boxing, whatever, it's lost a lot of people that just anybody can get it kind of attitude. And, that's something that obviously you have, like you said, anybody can get it. Why do you think that is nowadays? I don't know, maybe if it's just I don't know, is it a cultural thing? Is it a generational thing where you kind of you've kind of lost that era of tough guys? You know what I mean? And everybody wants to do it for certain. It's got to be for something specific versus just I want to be the best, I want to be the best person out there, and it seems like you kind of have that attitude of I just want to get in there and be the best athlete that I can be. I guess maybe kind of give your thoughts on that.
Yeah, I think that, and the biggest thing, I think a lot of guys now with being in, I guess, some of these promotions, the bigger promotions, they're looking more of like, okay, they got 6-0, 8-0,
Right.
10. I don't think they're really going back and looking at the opponents that they have faced.
Right.
Like trying to see. I think most guys is trying to build it enough and saying that, hey, if I can get there, I build my record enough. I can
Right.
get there. I can kind of handle the rest. But it really doesn't go. Really don't go like that when you got somebody that of caliber of me and some of these other guys that coming in and actually have that mindset of like, hey, anybody's come at this time, we can get it. And then I come from an era that's one of those things that with playing in Alabama, having a bunch of 5-star guys around me.
Yeah.
I always had to try to elevate my game and try to figure out another way to excel. So that always was one of those things that I always wanted more. I wanted to push my wheel on just about anybody, being a defensive player. So you don't have a lot of guys now that don't want to really want to do that. Like I said, simply for the fact I think they're looking at it and saying like, hey, like I can just get by with just a decent record and kind of get in there, and then I can
Right.
show my skills. But like I said, if you don't have those opponents, when you do get up there, those opponents is really good. It don't pan out good for them. You can go back and look at the track record of a bunch of them that have made it to the UFC, made it to Bellator, have these undefeated records, and then get there and then they don't pan out. But you don't have like a lot of guys that have that worth ethic. Just like I say, Eric Anderson is one of those that he has that the same way. Like he'll take any fight at any time. If it works for him, he's gonna go. He's always ready. So we just like I said, competing and being in that position. I think we just always had that. Coming in the era now, like the new era. I guess the era where we come in at, and me and him not having many miles on us. Like I've been in this 3 years really. If you really want to count it. So I guess I'm more hungry and wanted more. I don't really, think about all that. Like, let me build my record. Let me do this. I'm like, I just want to fight. So I want to give an exciting fight, go out and knock people out. And one of those things like a rumble. Like, I got a lot of power, so I'm just going out just to have fun, man. That's what we do. We sign up to fight, man. If you don't want to fight, then why sign up to do this?
Where do you see yourself leading more towards? Because you mentioned Bellator, you mentioned, Bare Knuckle. I guess, where do you see yourself leaning more towards, maybe in the future, maybe 1 year, 2 years from now?
My goal ultimately is to be a belt holder for possibly Bare Knuckle and one of these like MMA production where it's UFC, Bellator. I want to be one of those that like both ways that you can look back and say, hey, this is the first guy that was a standout fighter in Bare Knuckle and a standout fighter in UFC or Bellator. Kind of like the guys coming from kickboxing, doing the different kickboxing and doing that too. So I want to be one of the top guys in each one of the organizations.
So now the big question is, and this is the most important, we saw your fight. You pretty much put everybody on notice from your weight up, said anybody could get it. Let's get a contract. I know you'll fight anyone, but is there anyone in particular you have in mind, not calling them out in a bad way, but that you would like to see yourself fight Bare Knuckle?
I guess with that's one of those things that's kind of hard to say right now because they got a lot of guys that they hadn't really got. Like I guess having, they're still trying to pan out being like the third or fourth one that they have. They're still trying to pan out guys that, hey, let me, get kind of who they want to have in there. So I really haven't seen a lot of guys that actually that has been fighting. Like I said, at this point, man, I'm just one of those that they bring in and they everything looks good. I'm all ready to go, man. I'm one of those. I train and I practice hard every day. So I don't really have a specific, like guy that I'll say just because I don't know a lot of guys. I don't get into it a lot. The biggest guy that I knew at this time was Bobby. So that's the only guy that I actually looked at kind of, stylistically looking at stuff, trying to mimic stuff off of him. But other than that, I don't know a lot of guys that has been doing it, and I don't know a lot of guys that have been pulling in it. So, I guess after about maybe 6 or 7 more. By the time they get to 6 or 7, they should have more guys pan out to the ones that they want. You know, me personally, I thought Kendall would be a lot harder to fight. I thought with me that would probably be like one of the most difficult setups because he's so much taller and he's so long. Yeah. So I'm used to being the one that's keeping the people on the end of my jab. So being on the other end, it made it kind of different. So I don't really have a specific guy like that. I'll be like, hey, I want to like fight. But at this time, anybody that they have that, if it's, bare knuckle, if it's legacy, if it's, anything MMA, just period. Anybody that they have that they, give me a long enough camp, give me six weeks, and then whoever it is, man, we can all go at it, man. It really don't matter.
All right, mental note to Dave Feldman: get this man a bare knuckle fight before he trots off into Bellator.
Oh yeah, like man, I'm there. Like he Dave, know man, I love fighting like this, and I think he's one of those that want to push me to be one of the big guys too. So Dave is a phenomenal guy, man. Everything that he's done, and the production period, man, has been like A+. So I trust everything he do, all the setups that he's done. I think I went out and showed myself having 2 knockouts, and 2 of the 3 things that they don't had this far. I think like he kind of see that I'm pretty serious. I think he's weeding out some of the ones that's kind of there to be there, and he knows which ones really want to be there. Yeah. Like I said, I'm going out and I'm having bad intentions when I go out there. So I think he knows now that I'm a pretty guy. He can stand. I'm one of the guys he can stand behind the push and the fine fights for and do. So I'm kind of excited for what the future hold with it and everything that Dave had done up until this point.
Well, I can say this, man, you're absolutely great for the sport. You come out, you come ready to fight. You don't pick and choose. I know on my end, and Josh probably agrees, man, we hope you're on the next card. We really do. We want to see because we know what we're going to get.
Yeah.
When people see your name on the card, they know, all right, well, I know this guy's coming, and he's coming to throw down.
Yeah.
Like the ring could be half the size. You're still fine with it.
Yeah, you know what? Right. And that's the type of thing that really builds that relationship, I guess, if you want to call it, between the fan base, right? Is when you when you see a certain name on the card, it doesn't matter if they're at the top, at the bottom. There are certain people that when you see their name on the card, like Cowboy Cerrone is a great example, right? Whenever you see Cowboy's name on the card, you're like, oh shit. That's going to be a banging fight. It doesn't matter. Like, it doesn't matter who it is. It doesn't matter, where it's at on the card. It's going to be a banging-ass fight. And I think with, your kind of outlook and your type of attitude towards it, I think you're there, man. We see your name on the card. We know, okay, somebody's getting lit up tonight.
You were requested. You were very highly requested from our followers to go out and get you. And I'm like, we already talked to him. We're just waiting for his schedule to clear up.
Yeah, I appreciate it, man. It's one of those things, like I said, man, like that you have to go out and give your best, man. You sign up to fight, and like I was always told that, those fights where you sitting down looking at the fight and you're like, okay, like I like it and going. But the fights that everybody want to see is when all the fans are standing up and you got 50 people standing up in front of them and they know that they're standing up, but they're not telling them to sit down to move. Everybody is just so in tune to that fight that they don't know what, like, it doesn't matter that, you got 50 people standing up in front of you and you have not having to tell them to sit down because they're so in tune to like what's going on in that fight and so excited. Yeah. So that's what I try to do. I try to make it very exciting and have people on the end of the seat and actually being like, oh man, like what's gonna happen? Just give this guy an inch, and we don't know what will happen.
Yeah. Tell people where they can follow you on. Give them your social media stuff like that. Where can people reach you at?
Marcel _Stamps _MMA is my Instagram and Twitter. And just Marcel Stamps on my Facebook. Pretty much just put like the Marcel _Stamps and Marcel Stamps is all of it hashtag with Marcel Stamps. So it's easy to find. I'm the only guy on there. Just look for the guy that's knocking everybody out, man.
There you go.
There it is.
Well, we appreciate your time, sir. Marcel Stamps. Check him out. Go follow him. Go check out his fights. I'm telling you, the dude he's really coming up. He's really going to do something. He's got a great attitude, great outlook, and I think he's got a great future in this sport. For Nick Portella, Joshua First, Combat Insiders, Marcel Stamps, we're out.
All right, sir. Appreciate it, man. Y'all have a good one.
All right, buddy. Thank you, sir. Welcome back, Combat Insiders. We have on Skype the one, the only, Britain Hart, also with Nick Portella on the other line. And Britain Hart, what have you been doing? What have you been up to? We want to see more. When are we going to get more of Britain Hart?
Man, you are not lying. I'm in a huge transition right now. I moved from Virginia down to Florida, which has a lot more fighting connections, with a new team that's really behind me and super supportive.
Yeah.
So I think that's the missing piece to get in, world championship titles and getting belts around my waist. So I think that with that being said, I've been working really hard every night in the gym, and I think people can see that if they follow me a little bit more marketing-wise. But the fights are coming. I mean, I had somebody offer me a fight the 17th of this month. I really wanted to take it, but it's in Pennsylvania, so I just by the hair said no. But I'm looking for it. I'm ready. I'm definitely ready.
So the real question, let's just get into it. Bare knuckle boxing. You went out. You were a heavy underdog. Put on a show. You didn't get the result you wanted, but it was a split decision. I know you would take the fight again if, Beck was willing to sign. But now you have other people saying they want the shot at her. How do you think – I feel like this division's blowing up more than all the other ones because now you have a lot of people in the pot that would warrant that title fight. What do you think?
I mean, it's a new sport and it's still kind of developing since there's only been 3. And especially with the females, I mean, there's only been 5 and only 2 have gone the distance, in my opinion, as far as, I mean, you can't help it if someone, you get knocked out, But I think that it's it's fair game. So I'm not going to be salty if someone else gets the shot before me. But I do want it, and I still want it, and I want to be the one that takes it. So I'm kind of like, but it is what it is at this point. But I feel like that's just more challengers and more, competitors that I get to face. So it's not like I'm weary of it or down on my luck on it. I want more females. Jennifer Tate, I would love to. I was actually kind of thinking she wouldn't be back, or Alma Garcia, she's not going to be back. But if they'd be back, that's wonderful. I feel like, I would like the chance to, fight them. And then if new, females come into the sport, that might be a way for me, to show that I belong and that I do need a second shot. I think the split decision honestly warrants another shot at it by itself. I mean, I really do. So if she's sitting there saying that I don't deserve it, I mean, it's a split decision. So
yeah,
I agree. That's why I wanted to ask because, the 2, like you said, they fought and don't know if they're coming back. You're obviously in it. You're not going anywhere. You're a staple in this. Christine Fierro won her fight, but you went the distance. It's kind of an interesting dynamic to see where it goes because I know you'll fight her again. Christine's calling her out again, but she's not, responding or saying yes to either one. We're actually going to have Beck on in the next couple weeks, I believe, so it'd be nice to get her take on it. But I see what you're saying. The split decision, in my mind, warrants a rematch, but a win warrants a rematch. So it's just insane. Do you have plans to be on one of the next 2 cards, possibly? I know there's information swirling around. Some of it can't be released. Like, we don't even know it. But is it possible that we will see you in the next 2 bare knuckle cards or on one of them?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm just waiting for that phone call. I'm waiting for that phone call. I'm waiting for, boss man Feldman to give me a call. And he always, he makes little comments and hints, saying, hey, we're talking soon. So, I mean, it's there, just waiting for it to actually be a go. And, I've gotten a few, little tidbits and, heard from a few birdies on kind of what the next show is going to be about. So, might be a whole new take, for bare knuckle. So I think it would be quite interesting to see how that turns out.
We need the same birdies.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
We gotta borrow her birds.
Look,
Yeah.
we just talked to we just got done talking to Marcel Stamps, and I guess it's an interesting question. He's kind of dipped his toes and he's doing the MMA thing and he's doing the bare knuckle thing kind of around the same time. Have you ever thought about maybe getting into the MMA world and kind of maybe juggle both? That way, hey, right when you're ready for your, when you have that kind of maybe gap in between fights, but hey, I'll go and do an MMA fight while I'm waiting on the next bare knuckle card.
Yeah, absolutely. Been working on that. Been practicing, doing some different things, knees and takedowns and all sorts of different techniques with that, which is really new to me since I'm a boxer, which everybody knows. But been really working on that, and I think that it would be interesting and be something that's really fun. And the coach and team I'm with now is really more MMA style, so it's gonna be fun, I think, and people are gonna be like, "Wow, here's a new Britain," and it really is gonna be new because it's a new fight. So I like it. It's fun, and especially with the clinches and working for the underhook, I think is something really, really beneficial to me in bare knuckle boxing or bare knuckle fighting, and it's something I haven't done before. So, but now that I'm actually kind of getting perfected at it, I think it's going to carry me a long way. So I'm excited for that. But yeah, we're going to be working on it. I'm definitely in an MMA gym, so waiting for that to just take off.
Yeah, we've seen the videos. So you've called yourself the Queen Bee, and I was asking Nick about this. You call yourself the Queen Bee. Now Beck Rollins is over here calling herself the Queen Bee. Not to stir the pot anymore, but
I'm just doing it to piss her off. I even got a crown. I went and got a crown tattooed on me with a queen of hearts on it. So I'm just doing it because I like to stir the pot. I'm gonna make sure she doesn't think that rematch is coming. Well, I mean, I can only call myself Queen Bee so many times before I feel like she's gonna step up.
Okay then.
I have a solution: steel cage match. Nobody exits until one winner. That's what my solution is.
Hold on, he just had a wrestling moment.
Yeah, we're going pro wrestling style on this.
So yeah, I definitely seen your social media. You're working on what was the last one I saw? You were wrestling.
Yep.
So it is interesting. Maybe see you in an MMA style event. What about boxing? Do you have plans to continue with gloved boxing if the situation arises correctly for you?
Yeah, the fight that I was going to take November 17th was a boxing match. So it was just, strictly boxing. So, and like I said, I'm kind of sad that I can't take it. If it was a little, it's just a last minute. So the travel, it would be like a 17-hour drive. So I just not going to make that drive right now. But if it was something like they would do the plane tickets, I would be up there, and I think it would be, a lot better of a situation. But I was excited for it, and I think my coach realized that I was kind of bummed out when the final was like, it's not a good idea right now. Yeah. He said he made some calls and that I'll probably will be boxing sometime in December or January if I don't get on the bare knuckle card.
We need you to be on the bare knuckle card.
Yeah, I know. That's a priority.
Brayden, what are your plans? For the next where do you see yourself a year, 2 years from now? What are your goals? Whether it's bare knuckle, MMA, or what have you?
My top goal right now is getting into bare knuckle and being a prominent female, such as Beck Rollins, and being worthy of that Queen Bee spot again. But definitely being a prominent female in bare knuckle, and then I kind of want to in a couple of years showcase that I'm going to be in the MMA world. But I still do want to do the boxing. I still want to do that the right way. And boxing is more like my baby. I kind of take care of it and coddle it, where MMA is more, I'm just going to go at it, just dive in deep and see where it takes me, kind of get that brawler side back in me.
We like the brawler side. Hey, are you driving?
Well, no, actually, I just hi.
What's up, D-Bill?
Yeah.
What's up?
Hey, what's up, buddy? How are you?
I'm doing great. How y'all guys doing?
Doing
We're good.
man.
Cut right in on our interview. You could get away with that.
I'm the designated driver right now. I'm the DD.
There you go.
Well, since you're pulled over, when are you fighting again, sir?
January 19th, buddy.
Where?
K-Zilla in Florida. So, yeah. Just trying to get this girl into some MMA.
Yeah.
We see you wrestling. We watch the videos of you two getting a little wrestling practice on.
Oh, yeah. How we look? Do we look all right?
It looked like you. It looked like you were training.
Yeah.
It looked good. It looked the way it was supposed to look.
That's great. That's great.
All right. So real quick, since you're both there, legit wrestling match. Who wins?
You know what? I'm a good fiance, so Britain Hart wins. See,
Yeah. Good job. Didn't I tell you recently he's a good egg? Remember I told you this. You see?
You did. Look, the best thing was in wrestling practice yesterday, coach was telling, you grip and kind of work your way in.
Yeah.
And he looks at me, he goes, wow, damn, you have a good grip. He's like, wow, I didn't realize that. And I was like, what? And he's like, yeah, you got a really good grip. And some things I needed work on, I didn't really perfect, but there was about 2 or 3 things that I just got right off the bat, and they were all really impressed. So I think that's a good sign.
Does it make it easier training when you're literally engaged to a training partner? It's a valid thing. Like, you guys probably go home and wrestle. Like, seriously, like, let's just keep practice going. I mean, it seems logical to me.
Oh yeah, I mean, and that's kind of the great part about it, and that's why I think I'm going to go as far as I am, is because I mean, it's literally a lifestyle. You wake up, eat, breathe, sleep, fighting, and now being engaged to it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's nothing to walk into the kitchen or walk into the bathroom and have to watch out for a hook or an uppercut or someone punching me in my ribcage.
Could you imagine trying to get up to go get something to drink out of the fridge and bam, out of the darkness, takedown? You have no idea.
Don't give my wife any ideas. Don't give her any ideas, because if my wife sees this video, she's gonna get some ideas. So we can't have that. We can't have that at all. So Britain, where can people reach you on social media?
I'm definitely working on being better at Instagram, which I think I am, but still Facebook is still my big platform.
Yeah.
Being down here, I have I haven't really got to meet up with them yet, but I'm going to have a PR coach.
Oh.
So that's exciting. I'm going to have a PR coach, and he's going to get me all set up as far as having an athlete page and being better on social media. Obviously, I apologize to everybody, my fans, with me in this move. I've been kind of, not that I haven't been training, because I still have, but I just haven't had time to get on social media and reach out and be, as prominent as I was. But I'm definitely going to be getting there. I'm just haven't gotten the chance to yet. But that's where they can reach me. Facebook, I'm very nice. As Nick can tell you, I reach out and I'm appreciative to everybody. So all they have to do is reach out, and then it's a go.
I feel like you've already hit that people's champion status, because we look at social media too, and your numbers went up as the fight happened.
Yeah.
Even with a loss via split decision, the numbers continued to go up.
Yeah.
So you have to be happy about that. Number one, your fans are liking what they see, so that's a big part of it.
Oh yeah, a lot of people reach out and say I'm inspiration, and just showing. I think just coming in as an underdog and coming in with so many. I mean, such a different background. Like, I really feel that some people can connect with it, where other people can't really relate to some fighters that kind of have it made, or a silver spoon in their mouth, so to speak. But I just think it shows that heart. If it was easy, everyone would do it. It's not. It's hard. It's hard as shit. And I think when people can see somebody that really dedicates themselves, the results that happen, I think it gives people hope.
Yeah, I'll tell you, man. Everybody has to follow her. Give her a follow. We've been fortunate enough to talk to her a few times. We actually met. She came down to MMA Pro League. We got to hang out. Definitely a fan favorite. We absolutely see why. Switch the camera over to that guy again, real quick.
Oh, well.
He's gone.
Wow.
He disappeared.
How's he going to ghost on us?
I know. We are on the, I'm telling you, we do not get but 5 minutes rest between. I mean, we're on it all the time.
At least we got your 5 minutes today, so we absolutely appreciate that.
We appreciate your time, and you are an inspiration to everybody. And everybody, please go check her out, Miss Britain Hart. Like I said, we thank you so much. And everybody, go check her out. CombatInsidersMedia.com. Check us out. And that's all the time we got for you today. We thank you so much.
Yeah.
Take care.
Absolutely.
Boom. We're
Thanks,
out.
guys.